What's up, HyperFast Nation? Welcome to this episode of the show. Today we got a very, very special guest, a member of the Keri Shull Team, actually just named Rookie of the Year. Stand by for Rob Alcorn. All right, welcome to the show today, Rob. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Congrats, by the way. I know yesterday we had the big end of the year team party, and you were named Sales Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah, that was amazing.
So how did that happen in your first year of real estate? Because we brought on a lot of rookies this year. I don't know, at least 24, I'm guessing, or
definitely.
Maybe
I
more.
think maybe more. Yeah.
Yeah. So out of all of that, you rose to the top. How'd you do it? What did it take?
Well, about this time last year, I was just starting out, and it was kind of weird because you come into the industry not really knowing what to expect. Well, at least I did, because I came from a completely different career.
What career did you come from?
So I was in the hospitality industry for about 20 years, just wore like all the hats regarding that. And I felt like it was a good transition because just, the way I visualized how the position would go, I felt like I could use a lot of those talents that I had in my last career to move forward.
What made you think, okay, I've been hospitality 20 years, now I can go do real estate? What made you think that? And then why did you pick a team versus going and trying to do it on your own?
Sure. So really it was just like about the relationships with people. I love working with people a lot. That's really what drove me through like working into the hospitality industry. But I wanted to do something that was a little less like physically intense, but still kind of retained those qualities. And I felt like working with people to find a home would be a good fit. I also have kind of a fascination with, just like learning about little different pockets of neighborhoods and what kind of qualities that they have. And so just kind of in an abstract way, I thought like, I could put these two together and I'll, do really well.
How'd you find out about real estate and the team specifically?
Yeah, that's a great story. So I was actually buying my own house, and we worked with Angela Descent, and she used to sell cars to us. And so when we found out that she was a real estate agent, we scheduled a meeting with her. She had just started with the team. What really kind of stood out to me within our first meeting was that buyer presentation. That
we actually
I
have the cover of it up here.
It seemed really polished and informative. It really helped. Me. I look at a contract, back then, and my eyes would glaze over. I didn't really understand the process, but within 30 minutes, like I was on board and I was excited about buying a house. Where before it was just kind of like a whim, some sort of idea like, hey, shouldn't we buy a house? But this gave us more of a, focus and kind of our own homework to do, but also what to expect. And it helped to, make the process a lot more easy for us.
All right, so you had this good buyer experience that led to you, becoming an agent on the team. How long did it take from when you decided to do it to when you closed your first deal?
Wow. So that actually didn't happen too long after I started. So I went through training. Probably about a month later, I was at my first closing. So that was...
Actually at the first closing?
Yeah.
Not like meeting the client or ratified the deal?
No, at my first closing. So,
Wow.
not long after
That's fast. Faster
it
than
was
mine.
a little bit more than a month after testing out. I got scheduled an appointment through our ISA team, and met with the clients, and within 2 weeks after meeting with them, we found the house pretty quickly. Just everything that I learned in our training helped me to at least get the groundwork laid. I'm not saying it was the most elegant execution for that first time, but it really helped me to I don't know, at least look like I knew what I was doing.
Real estate's a messy game, to say the least.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's why we try to standardize things and have the training you mentioned and have the buyer presentation. And,
Yeah.
and we try to standardize that process for the client. I think more realtors try to standardize it. You're not going to completely get there. We're not making burgers. We're people are buying 3, 4, 500,000, 7-figure homes.
Yeah, they're making huge life decisions.
And they do it. Most people do it every 5 years or so, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a messy process, but the more standardization, the more training you can do with all of your processes, the better. Fast forward 12 months now. What did the first year look like for you? Like what kind of numbers did it take for you to be sales rookie of the year?
Well, that was what the interesting journey was, because about this time last year, I was having a call with our sales manager and asking, what am I doing wrong? So the particular problem I had was I would go on these buyer meetings. I would get a signed buyer agreement, but I felt like it was kind of bottlenecking there. So I was, just acquiring more clients, but really no action was happening. What I found to be my issue was that because I wasn't coming from a sales background, I needed to put systems in place that could move these people along more quickly than I was doing. So that's when, I just kind of looked inward at, my behaviors and what I could be doing differently. And that's when things started to happen for me. So the way that I moved beyond that conundrum was I'm more of a visual person. So it was hard for me to look at a spreadsheet and understand what I needed to do and visualize what this column was doing to move it over to another column. So it's kind of funny. I took that need for visualization and I found a solution for it by just representing my buyers in a more visual way on my computer. So I started by using a Kanban filing on my screen, and Kanban is cool because you can kind of move them along. It almost became like a video game,
Right.
I would take these people from here and I would be able to move them along, and my goal was to get them to the end. And that really helped me to kind of deal with those that excess of buyer agreements that I had. Then from that I could go back to our training, which is honestly drinking out of a fire hose. So much amazing information, but in the very beginning, if you have no experience on how to utilize it, it doesn't really resonate yet. But as you start to pick up pace, then you can kind of move back and think about what you learned, what you were taught, during our training, and actually, utilize it.
Hold that thought for a second. Do you struggle with how to scale your real estate business without trading your most valuable asset, your time, for money? If so, Keri and I want to help you. Since March of 2020, we have doubled our sales and tripled our profit. And we want to help you grow your real estate business in a smart way at the HyperFast Summit in Boca Raton, Florida on February 1st and 2nd, 2022. We're bringing together top real estate leaders to help agents from all over the world. Go to hfasummit.com for tickets. Again, that's hfasummit.com for tickets.
And that training, by the way, if you're listening out there, Keri and I share that with other agents, with other teams across the country, and specifically at the HyperFast Agent Summit on February 1st and 2nd, we will be diving into not only, how do you use this training to close more buyers, but how do you standardize it and teach buyer agents on your team when you're trying to recruit, hire, and train and scale and build a business. Right now, you can go to hfasummit.com. There's probably still some tickets left. It is selling out quickly, but that's hfasummit.com for 2 days of intense training on how to scale a real estate business in Boca Raton, Florida. So the weather will be good on February 1st and 2nd. Again, that's hfasummit.com. More on that training, though, and how to... you're drinking from the fire hose. Yeah. And it's working because you're signing sounds like you're signing a lot of buyer clients to agreements, which a lot of agents struggle with, by the way. A lot of them never do that. They just kind of assume the relationship is verbal. We are very, I think, good about emphasizing that and getting that agreement signed up front, because that helps get objectives out of the way and helps you learn more about what their concerns may be with working with you, and it just outlines the relationship and the responsibilities. So
exactly.
So you're signing those, but you're not moving them along. Then you go to this organization system, and that helps. What specifically in the training kind of helped you get them from signed buyer agreement to writing offers?
So systems. So the systems that you guys give us, during our training, how to talk to the clients, referring back to those really valuable videos that help you to communicate in a way where clients trust you. And that's really where it comes down to, is getting the client to trust you and to understand that you're working in their best interest. Because you could say it all day long, but unless they believe it, it doesn't matter. So utilizing those systems helps to make a smooth transaction. And those systems include explaining to them what the decisions are as far as contracts go, outlining what the definitions are, so that way that they're not overwhelmed when it comes time to making those decisions. Because if you do that in the beginning and you explain it to them early on, you and I both know, sometimes when you're out viewing houses, the second house is the one that they're in love with. And they're scared that, I've only seen 2 houses. I feel like I need to be seeing more. How do you get them to the decision that this is the perfect house for them, instead of wasting another week and potentially losing that perfect house for them? And that's totally in the training.
And I think that's stuff all agents know is out there. They just either are scared to bring it up early because they don't want to uncover those objections, or they don't know how. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a great part of the buyer training specifically.
100%.
Oh, so what did you end up 2021? How many deals closed, volume, all that good stuff?
So I'm at 26 right now, and I should be hitting 30 by end of year.
So 26. This will probably publish into December, beginning of January. So 2021 will probably be in the book. So you'll be somewhere between 26 and 30 deals.
Yeah.
What are your goals for 2022?
Well, fortunately, the pace that I had this year has allowed me to qualify to have a partner agent, which was huge. It was really good news, because I worked my tail off all year long, constantly grinding, constantly working with all of the buyers that were put in front of my face. And a lot of people don't want to put that kind of work into their business, thinking that maybe their overhead is too much because they've driven around too much, things like that, kind of objections, I don't want to work too hard for too little. But what they don't understand is, with those transactions, no matter how big or small they are, comes more experience. And so if you're brand new into this industry, learning those things, getting those transactions under your belt makes each one even easier as it goes along.
Hey, hold that thought for a minute. Do you have a client that needs to buy or sell a home in the DMV area? Then why not trust the highest selling team in the DMV, the Keri Shull Team? We've helped thousands of buyers and sellers and would love to help your clients. And we guarantee we will save them time, money, and stress throughout the process. And they will be so grateful that you referred them to us. Go to kerishull.com to learn more. Again, that's kerishull.com. to learn more about sending us your clients that need to buy or sell a home in the DMV area. That's kerishull.com.
What's your goal with the partner agent? How many deals do you want to do?
I'd love to double it. So if not
30
more.
to 60?
Yeah. My when I did my my goals
Did you
yesterday,
ever think when you were starting out that like, oh, I'll do 30 deals year one, and then maybe year two, my goal will be to double that?
It's really funny. I was putting together after listening to a little bit of like Salesforce, their business planning. It's called a V2 Mom. I decided to do my own, and I look back on what I wrote in January, and it says to close successfully 6 transactions. And now I look back and I think how naive I was, and how little I was like imagining what the future could be. I had no idea that I would be anywhere near those numbers, especially in my first year.
Yeah, the partner agent model is cool. I remember kind of coming up with the concept with Amy, one of our top agents. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago when we really started implementing it. Now I think there's like 12 people on the team, or maybe I don't know. Do you know the number?
I don't know the number.
I think we've got like 12 people that have gotten up to this 30 deal and up kind of pace per year, and then they get to bring on a partner agent. And then if it gets up to like 50 or so, they get to bring on another one, and we've got like kind of 12 of these mini teams, and it's really a great system because it allows you to go from 30 to 60 without either compromising on the service you give your clients and without compromising on like your quality of life, your health, all of that.
100%.
And then now you've got this mentee that you're bringing up along the way, and someday that person might go on and do really well. Like we've seen that happen a lot. So it's a really cool model. By the way, we will be teaching that at the HyperFast Summit in Boca Raton, Florida, February 1st and 2nd. If you want to really scale a real estate team, you have to learn how to take your top producing solo agents, retain them by offering them more value, allow them to do more deals, help you serve more clients, and maintain their quality of life. So we will be teaching that system at the HyperFast Summit in Boca Raton, Florida, February 1st and 2nd. You can go to hfasummit.com for tickets. Again, that's hfasummit.com. So more on the what is your partner agent already on board? Or?
Not yet. No.
So we're looking for them.
Yeah, I had a meeting on Monday
about
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we go out, recruit, hire. Obviously, they've got to gel with you, but then they go through the same training you did, and then now you have someone that will help with showings, help with contracts.
Yeah, help with follow-up. Because I got to
Yep.
tell you, Dan, there's probably about 30 people that I have not been able to follow up with just because of the pace of my own business. And I almost get anxiety about it because I feel like that's money that I haven't spent for them yet.
Sure.
So,
Well, I'm excited to see where this partner agent model goes. We'll have to do a follow-up interview at the end of next year. Before we wrap up, I always do a hyper-fast round. If you're ready for some rapid-fire questions and answers. A little surprise.
Okay.
You'll do fine.
Yeah, they didn't tell me about this.
What's your biggest piece of advice to a new real estate agent?
No matter how scared you are about your current numbers, if you just keep your head down and keep working, your pipeline will increase.
What's a mistake you see seasoned real estate agents make?
Being unprofessional.
Good one. Yeah, got to be nice to people.
Yes. Yeah.
Biggest challenge you've had in real estate? How'd you overcome it? Or what did you learn from it if you didn't overcome it?
Yeah. So biggest challenge that I have had was trying to retrain my brain into a more like business-minded sense. And how did I overcome it? By creating systems, by learning from as many successful people that were around me that I felt like had really good integrity, and just trying to be a peer of them.
Awesome. When you're not selling homes or working on real estate, what would we most likely find you doing?
Probably baking. Yeah.
Baker. All right.
Yeah.
What do you like to bake?
I like to bake everything. So I'm really good at cakes, but not as good as Andrea.
Okay. Last question: where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
In 5 years from now, I'd like to have like a couple more mini teams under me, like
Awesome.
Amy. Yeah.
Growing empire. Well, thank you so much
Yeah.
for being on the show today, Rob. If people want to connect with you on social media or just reach out because they got a question about real estate, how do they do that?
Yeah, so on Instagram, I'm Rob Alcorn Realtor. And on Facebook, you can reach me at Rob Alcorn. Yeah.
All right. So connect with Rob. Thank you so much. Congrats on the
Thank
amazing
you.
first year. To all of our listeners and viewers out there, thank you so much. Please leave us some comments, feedback, review the podcast, share this with people that you think, and we will see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the HyperFast Show. Subscribe to us if you want to make sure you get the latest and greatest HyperFast shows. And remember, we love reviews. Reviews help us bring better and better guests and improve our shows. So give us the good, the bad, and the ugly. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.
Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end. I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you want to see more, click right here. And if you want 100 real estate tips from my best-selling book, click right here to download them instantly. And if you're new to this channel, click below to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out. And leave some comments about what you think on the videos.